Hi everyone and welcome to another video. I am the fragrance enjoyer, and in today's video I will be talking about one of my favorite houses that I haven't spoken about yet. I'm gonna be talking about Royal Crown and specifically about the fragrance called Rain. Now before we jump into it, it's been a month on YouTube, more or less, and it's about time I take out the big guns and show you guys the kind of a more exclusive part of my collection. Now, before we go into it, first things first. Much better. Since it has been a very long week, end of the quarter, it's time for a nice coffee, so enjoy it. First and foremost, let's start off with the packaging itself. Beautiful packaging, as you can see. Comes in a nice box. So it looks very, very nice. But of course, with Royal Crown, if you may know, the best part lies within. So if I open up the box, so you can see the actual seal. I love to keep it intact. You will see, in my opinion, one of the top 4 presentations that I've seen from a fragrance house. Now, I'm not sure if you can tell, but if I lift up the packaging, you will see that this one is not your typical soft material. This is more of a kind of a leathery approach, which is like very firm. I don't know if you can tell, but it's very firm, and it's essentially keeping the bottle perfectly steady in the box, so nothing's gonna happen to the bottle, which is, I think, a very good choice. So if we take the bottle out, I think you will start to appreciate just how beautiful this thing is. So let's take a moment together to take a look at one of the best presentations in this fragrance game. Simply stunning, isn't it? So let's also spray the fragrance and check out the sprayer. As you can see, a lot of juice being applied, beautiful pressurized sprayer. Really nothing to complain about here. Amazing, amazing bottle, amazing presentation. A couple of things to mention about the bottle. So to my knowledge, these are actually diamonds that are placed by hand for every single crown. Now this is done manually in Italy, and it looks beautiful. What's also different about this bottle from typical bottles is the actual glass itself. So this glass is actually much thicker than your typical glass that you might find on a designer bottle or even most of the niche bottles as well. So this is very thick glass, very heavy bottle. Without any further ado, let's talk about the actual smell itself of this fragrance. So if you're in the game for a little bit, you probably heard of the fragrance called Green Irish Tweed from Creed. If you did, then this one will be very easy to explain to you. Green Irish Tweed released in 1985 and is currently in the top 67 in the men's perfume on Parfumo. It is one of the best fragrances ever created. It is extremely fresh, invigorating, and beautiful, manly at the same time. So it is amazing. Now the reason why I mentioned Creed is because this fragrance from Royal Crown essentially took what Creed created in 1985 and perfected it pretty much, and also made it more modern. Now if you take a look at Green Irish Tweed today, you will find that the performance is almost non-existent, that it has this creechy green opening, and that it quickly fades into the dry down with pretty much no heart whatsoever, which is a shame because back in the day, Creed was known for, quality and exceptional fragrances. At this point, that's not the case. And so if you compare the today's version of Green Irish Tweed to Rain, you will essentially find that this is what Green Irish Tweed should have been from the very start. That leads me into Rain. Now, Rain is essentially a much better, more sophisticated, full, creamier, full-bodied version of Green Irish Tweed. It is a fresh, green citrus fougere that has a bit of spiciness as well. And to me, it is just magnificent. So it is absolutely stunning fragrance. So this fragrance is quite complex when it comes to the note breakdown. It is on the top, you're essentially getting coriander, lemon, lemongrass, mandarin orange leaf, mint, and pink pepper. This is followed by Calabrian jasmine, cypress, iris absolute, geranium, and lavender. And then everything is coming to a halt in the base with ambergris, grey musk, heliotrope, Mysore sandalwood, and woody notes. So if you are in the fragrance game, a couple of these notes should have stood out to you, especially ambergris, Mysore sandalwood, and cypress, but also iris absolute. So they're using quite specific ingredients here that are of extreme quality, and you can smell that from the get-go. Since the note breakdown is quite complex, I think what would make sense is to, in general, put this scent into perspective. What this smells like is as if you are in a rainforest next to a waterfall, surrounded by a lot of greenery. So by a lot of trees, grass, flowers, etc. This is going to carry with itself this freshness that you can maybe associate with water. I would assume, hence the name rain. So it's not an aquatic by any means, but what this will smell like is the spray of water that's coming off the main waterfall itself. And that spray of water is mixed with the most beautiful jasmine, cypress, and lavender, lemon, mint. So it's a beautiful green fougere fresh fragrance that doesn't go aquatic by any means at all. It simply carries the freshness and the openness of the water itself and uses that, so to say, to carry the rest of the fragrance with itself. So it's a beautiful fragrance in the air. It leaves a beautiful trail. I'm just in love with this fragrance, to be honest. What this one also does, it's a lot more creamier than GIT. From that perspective, you can also pull this one off in fall, in summer, and in the spring. So it's a very versatile fragrance as well. The bottom line effect you will have while wearing this fragrance is smelling incredibly fresh and clean, but in a old school gentlemanly way. So if that is something that you find interesting, then I would definitely suggest checking out Rain from Royal Crown. Now, when it comes to performance, this tops Green Irish Tweed easily, especially the newer batches from the last 5 years, I would say. So this one is simply stunning. It lasts easily 8 to 9 hours on my skin with significant smell of 3 to 4 hours. And then it kind of starts to essentially go down into this beautiful, creamy jasmine, iris, lavender, ambergris combination that is beautifully held on your skin with musk and woody notes. So it's a beautiful, beautiful combination that they've put together here. The quality is undeniable. Now, would I recommend this scent to anyone? The answer is no, because I think this is a bit more sophisticated scent. I think you have to be a bit on the mature side to pull this one off with confidence. If you're 19 and you go clubbing, this is not the scent for you. If you are going to the office, if you are having a business meeting, if you are coming fresh out of the shower, after the gym and you're going, to shop in the city, this is for you. If you just want to smell clean, you're in your mid-20s and up, this is the perfect scent for you. Because it is based on a DNA that is old for almost a couple of decades now, this will work perfectly also for a mature gentleman as well. So if you're in your mid-30s, 40s, 50s, you will be taken right back to the good old times with Creed, where the fragrances were good, the performance was good, and you will immediately fall in love with this one because, as I mentioned, not only did they take a very familiar DNA, but they've also modernized it a bit, made it more creamier, better quality, longer lasting, and in general, a much better scent. Now, if you compare this to the packaging of Creed, I don't think there's a contest, even though I love the Creed bottles, or at least the 120 ml bottles. I don't think there's any contest at all. This one takes it by a mile. This is it for the review. I would like to thank you guys for watching videos for over a month since I'm on YouTube. It was amazing to share some of my favorite fragrances with everyone. I intend to continue to do so. I am now starting to showcase some of the more exclusive fragrances that I have from houses such as Roja, from Royal Crown, etc. So there are only bigger and better things to come when it comes to fragrances. If you would like to see a specific review, I can get my hands on pretty much any fragrance, so let me know. And if you have any recommendations, especially now that you've kind of seen my taste in fragrances, also let me know. I'm always on the lookout for a new fragrance, as you guys may relate to as well. But other than that, thanks for watching, and I definitely hope to see you in the next one. Plan to cover a lot more fragrances from the house of Royal Crown. I think they're an amazing house, but a bit underrated in my opinion. I think they have a couple of absolute gems, and I will be getting them and I will be sharing them with you, so stay tuned for that. If you have any questions, let me know. Other than that, see you in the next one. So, occasions to wear this fragrance in. The main question, do you have to wear it in the rain? No, you don't.